Hi everyone, if you're new here, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will be going over a video by Earth's Feminine where she addresses the misconception of natural hair and not being feminine.
In my earlier days of doing my inner work, learning more about feminine energy, and attracting higher quality experiences with men, I remember that I was attempting to join a level up group that was run by Shira7 and her YouTube channel. And in the level up group, when I was being qualified to join, because it was something that they had to qualify you, and they would put you into certain tiers. She told me that I had to start off in the lowest tier of the group because I had locks, and only women who have more refined hair types could be in the higher tiered groups. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be a part of this group at all anymore because I felt so I don't even know how I felt. I felt disrespected. I felt not only disrespected, but I was like, seriously? You believe that I have to have long, straight weave down my back in order for me to be looked at as high quality?
I don't know much about this Shira7 lady, but I have come across a few of her videos and they are, in my opinion, very centered around men. Why can't all these so-called femininity coaches teach women about becoming the best versions of themselves? Not because they want to attract a man, but because it's for their own good, for their own self-development, for them to be confident and do better and feel better. A lot of these femininity coaches are so hyper-focused on men. It's crazy. They live and breathe men. So, okay, a question is, who are you when you don't have a man? Because it's clear that if you have one, your personality revolves around that man. I would also like to add that from what I've heard from Shira7 is that it sounds like, to me personally, the advice that she's giving out sounds anti-black. This beautiful lady with locks just shared how Shira claimed she was a low-tier woman just because of her hairstyle, a natural hairstyle. And it's not the first time that she's attacked natural hair. She's also spoken some other nonsense where she says that natural hair is not feminine and high value men or high quality men don't like natural hair. So please just go and watch these two videos by Coffee Cuties addressing Shira7's comment. She said that curly hair, specifically curly hair, is not feminine or for high value men. They don't like that type of hair. Now, judging by the way that she speaks, I believe that she might have been referring to type 4 hair specifically, in my opinion, again, because we all know the looser textures are accepted in society. 3C curls aren't struggling to find high value men, right? So now, why would some women continue to support a person like this? A person who is against the features God has blessed you with? I'm so happy Earth's Feminine decided to leave the so-called level up group and saw how ridiculous it was. Now, I feel very, very sorry for the women who may still be a part of that group or still follow her YouTube channel, because how can you follow someone who thinks that the way that you were born, the features that you have, are not good enough to get you someone who will love you for who you are? You have to change yourself in order to find a good man in this world. So when you hear that, doesn't it sound ridiculous? Does that not sound ridiculous to you? I think that, there's nothing wrong with wanting a man, but I'm saying it becomes a problem when that is your only focus. Like, you wake up, you go to work, and then you come back home and you think about, what can I do to get a man? That is a problem. Your focus should be pouring into yourself, like taking care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, and making sure that in all those aspects in life, you're good. You're feeling confident, you're right. When you pour into yourself in those aspects, you will then be able to attract someone who will love you the way that you deserve to be loved. Now, I know not everyone is a Christian, not everyone believes in God, but I am a Christian, and so there's a verse in the Bible that says that put God first and everything else will follow. Put God first and everything else would follow. So a lot of issues that come into your life for some people is that they will put everything else first. For example, they will put a man first, and then God is lost. And God has the ability to bring the right man into your life. But because you're not putting God first, you end up panicking and thinking that maybe there's something wrong with you, maybe it's this and that. No. Take care of yourself, pour into yourself, and focus on God and watch Him do the rest.
A lot of the feminine energy coaches and gurus and people who have, really helped so much with the collective around empowering the feminine was really missing the core of what it means to be truly in your feminine power. Because no, it does not make you low value, less than worthy, or undesirable in any way, shape, or form for wearing your natural hair.
I honestly believe that a lot of these coaches, these femininity coaches, don't actually know what it means to be feminine. I think their idea of feminine is wearing long dresses, wearing flowers in your hair, and all of that, having long hair. That is to them. That to them is what feminine is.
It's like, be yourself. Be yourself. That is what a high quality, high value man wants out of a woman. He wants a woman who is herself. And that is the epitome of feminine energy, is being who you truly are and embracing your naturalness.
Being feminine is different for every single individual. So if we really want to just focus only on the way that you look, femininity comes in all shapes and all forms. How many times have you come across a woman who's wearing sweatpants and a baggy t-shirt, but still the way that she carries herself is so intriguing? That's feminine. How many times have you seen a woman who wears high heels and long dresses? That's feminine, I guess. Everybody is feminine in their own manner, in their own way. And with that being said, you can be feminine with your natural hair. It is very much possible. I have natural hair and I find myself to be the most feminine in my natural state. Femininity is not a one-size-fits-all.
Honestly, that's the only women in the world that have literally just lived by this, I'm gonna wear weave my whole entire life, is Black women. Other women of other cultures, like, the only thing that they would really need to do to fit in is just have their hair grow really long. But if you have that 4C, 4A, 4B type of hair, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy, and I understand, because I've also had friends that I grew up with that literally hate it. Like, I have one friend to this day, like, I remember when we were in middle school, that she told me, she said, I'm marrying a white man because I want my children to not have to go through what I went through, basically. Like, in feeling that level of just, I hate myself and I hate how I look.
I agree with her. When she said that having type 4 hair it's hard, especially if you are new to, taking care of natural hair, it can be very difficult and confusing, and it may be very, very hard for you to adapt to the new look that you have. But the more you surround yourself with people who know about natural hair or people who speak positively about it, the more you watch videos, you do your homework and do research, it becomes so much easier for you. Now, I want to talk about her friend for a short while. I feel very sorry that she feels that way about herself. Now, I don't think she's the only black person who has this way of thinking. Like, they want to marry a different race so that they can have mixed babies, so that their babies can have a certain texture of hair. However, my question is for these people, I'm sorry I sound like I'm laughing. I was a bit, but my question is, do you not know how genetics work? Honestly, do you not know how genetics work? I'm not the smartest individual, right? I'm not the smartest, especially when it comes to science. But what I do know is that when you have kids, it doesn't matter what race you have them with, there's a 50-50 chance. It's a gamble. You might think that you have an idea of how the baby will come out. You think that your baby's going to come out looking like Zendaya, but you forget that you might have very strong genetics and the baby might come out looking like you. And there's nothing wrong with the way that you look, but now how are you going to love this child the way that they deserve to be loved? I'm just imagining her giving birth and then the baby comes out dark-skinned with an afro, because not every mixed child is light-skinned and has looser curls. Some light-skinned biracial kids still have afros. If that was the case, what would she have done in that moment, or how would she have felt? I can't imagine growing up with, a parent like that, because obviously she doesn't like the way that she looks. She's not going to like the way that you look if you look like her. I don't know if you guys are getting what I'm saying or understanding what I'm saying. I'm sure you do. But hey, I hope she's happy now. I hope she's alright. I say that as if we're friends, but I wish that lady all the best. Hopefully she's healing from whatever traumatized her so much that she hates the way that she looks.
I do have the ability to grow long, luscious, and thick, but because I'm not coming up in an environment where that is loved on and appreciated, all we know how to do is destroy our hair. All we know how to do is make ourselves go bald and ruin this majestic magnificence of our light and our beauty. Like that, our hair represents so much. It represents our regalness. It represents our pride.
In order for you to really love your natural hair and to see how beautiful and perfect you are with your natural hair, you have to surround yourself with people who speak positively. I mentioned this point earlier. And you also need to put in the time and effort and the work, as you would any other hairstyle that would have a weave on, to learn about your natural hair. Okay, and understand that it's going to take a lot of time. You have to be patient and consistent. Most importantly, patience and consistency. You won't magically wake up one day and you just love yourself, okay? Especially if you have this deep rooted hatred for your natural hair. It's going to take time.
Long story short, you are worthy. You are even more desirable when you decide to wear your natural hair and pour into your natural hair. You're even more desirable. Do you think that when I started my natural hair journey, people were like, yeah, girl, I'm so happy for you. Go ahead, do your locks, get your locks, girl, do the natural thing? You think that's what happened? That is not what happened. People were like, what you doing that to your hair for? You got good hair. Oh my gosh, that's gonna look weird. I don't know about that. I don't know about the micro sister locks. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. You know what I'm saying? That was not an easy decision. Okay? To say, you know what, I'm going to go natural and I'm going to stick with it.
Like I said earlier, it's going to take time, and maybe people around you will be against it when you decide to, or if you decide to go in your natural hair. It's going to take time, and some people will say things, some people will talk badly, but you just need to stick with it. And the only opinion that matters on your natural hair journey is your own. That's the only opinion that matters. If you want to go cut your hair, go and cut your hair. If you want to grow locks, grow your locks, okay? It's all up to you. Everything that you do to your hair is up to you. Don't let people try to convince you that you won't be good enough for somebody, or you're going to be less than if you decide to go with natural hair, or you decide to just go bald, okay?
What I was thinking about is I was thinking about the long-term benefits of me pouring into my natural hair and deciding to go the lock route. That's what I was thinking about. Because when you start locks, they don't look perfect and amazing when you first start them. Okay? They look like weird, for me, they look like weird little straggly alien things coming out of your hair. Like, I had to literally style my hair, figure out something to do with it until it grew thick enough to where I was like, oh yeah, this looks like a beautiful little afro of locks. I love it. You know? I had to go through the process and the journey of loving my naturalness and loving how I looked wearing my natural hair. It is a literal detoxing that you have to do.
I agree. Again, it goes back to what I've said earlier a couple of times, is patience. Be patient and be consistent. In the early stages of whatever journey you're on, it is going to feel a bit awkward, a bit weird. I remember when I did my very first big chop. So I've never actually had issues with my hair. I've always been excited to see what kind of hair I used to have. I had relaxed hair, and so I've never really known my texture. I knew that I would have an afro because obviously genetics, you look at your family, you have an idea of what's going to be on top of your head. So yeah, the only real insecurity that I had when I did my big chop was, and I cut my hair really, really short. I cut my hair so short, I looked like my brother, okay? And my concern was that I have a big head. And there were times where I was scared to go to school. I did my big chop in 2019. That was my final year of high school. And, you know, my head was very visible. It was very large. I mean, it still is, but now you can't tell because I gave, myself time. I continued. I didn't get scared and decide, you know what, I'll just throw on a wig from now on. When I say that I continued, I mean I continued just taking care of my short hair, and it continued growing. It flourished, and now I have, it's not where I wanted to be as yet, but I do have very thick hair. I have a slightly bigger afro now, and my hair looks proportional. Now I look normal. Mind you, I did 2 big chops. So a second big chop, I also cut my hair really short, and again my head was still big. But I feel like the second time I cut my hair, I wasn't as scared to go outside because I knew that if I just continue nurturing my hair and with my routine, my hair is gonna grow, and it is growing, So I feel like people don't give themselves enough time on this journey, and they expect a quick fix. They expect 6 inches in 2 weeks. No, it's not possible. It's not possible. Give yourself time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Even if you disagree with anything I've said, I would love to hear your point of view.